What up, everyone? It's Ryan Wilson with You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast. Are you a fan of spine-chilling tales, creepy creatures, and all things horror? Listen to LK the Horror Nerd. He offers in-depth reviews of movies, books, and games, exclusive interviews, and chilling discussions. That's right, folks. Check out LK the Horror Nerd, another podcast on the You Run Podcast Network. Check it out, y'all.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast. Proud members of the You Run Podcast Network. We can find all our shows and all the other awesome shows at yourunpodcast.com. I am your host with the most on the ones and twos. You know they call me Sweatpants Overlord. You know my hair is the best on the podcast. And don't even talk about my varicose veins. They're the best. Greg Hoey. And with me, my homie from Connecticut, the mustard smuggler himself. Some call him the Razor Blade. Some call him the Moose. Mr. Seamus Rogers. Seamus, how are you doing?
What up, guys? Happy Memorial Day weekend, and let's remember all our fallen heroes.
Yes, absolutely. And special guest, you've heard him before, from Pennsylvania, same place where Ween comes from, his new favorite band, Mr. Justin Skoviak. How you doing?
Oh, man, thanks, boys, for having me. I would not go that far as to call them my new favorite band, but I definitely have a different appreciation for them now, so I appreciate the introduction to them, for sure.
Yeah.
Once they get in your head, you're intrigued and you can't get rid of them.
That is true.
Don't want to confuse anybody, but we're missing the host with the most, Mr. Ryan Wilson, a.k.a. Fatback Supreme, the one with the intros, so I was just trying to do my best Ryan, and I failed.
I'm sorry, nobody can do like Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got that voice and the energy.
But Justin was awesome to join us today, because today we are going to be discussing movie franchises that went too long, and we're going to discuss a couple movie franchises that we thought deserved a little bit more. A couple more movies, maybe. Even just one.
For sure. Real quick, isn't it funny, though, boys, how you got these fucking franchises that go on forever, and you're like, will this ever fucking stop? And then there's a few of these movies out there we get, like 2 installments, maybe a third, maybe it's a trilogy, and then nothing more, and I don't get it, because a lot of those are very popular, too, but we're going to dive into that for sure. I'm certain of that.
Yeah, well, I was also thinking, too, because some movie franchises like kind of redeem themselves a little bit. They have for instance, I'll say Hellraiser. Like Hellraiser went far too long. There was so many shitty movies in between. And then the 2022 edition of Hellraiser, I thought was excellent, in my opinion, as far as at least it's better than the ones that were in between, you know?
Yeah, I haven't seen the new Hellraiser, but I've heard good things about it. But kind of to your point, some of those later installments were so freaking bad that I gave up on. I'm like, no, I'm good. I've had enough Hellraiser in my life. If I ever want to, I'll go back and watch the OG one, maybe the second one. But yeah, so I never got to the latest one. I might give it a shot at some point, especially if you're recommending it.
You should.
Yeah, it's cool. It definitely redeemed the franchise a little bit. And, hopefully they can have a couple more, even though they probably got a little bit too far.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I will kick this off then. This movie came out in 2004, and the franchise went all the way to 2023. The first one was directed by James Wan, starred a little Carrie Elways and Danny Glover, and I'm talking about the Saw series.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saw's one of mine too, so I'm just going to piggyback off of that, I guess. It was one of my 3 that I think went on too long. I'm actually a fan of the Saw franchise to a degree, not in totality for every film, but as a whole, I've kind of been a fan over the years. But, having said that, man, there's those installments in the middle are fucking awful. And Saw 3D is an abomination in that series to me.
I don't think I made it to that one.
Oh man, it's terrible. Don't even watch it. I wouldn't recommend it. Now, I thought Saw X was really good. I thought it told an interesting story. Gave you a different take on the John Kramer character, which I kind of dug. So I sort of am looking forward to what they do with what could be 11 if it ever does come out. I know they've had some issues they've run into, but yeah, for the most part, this franchise could probably die because it's ran out of room. It doesn't have the legs that I think that they thought it did. But yeah, some of that stuff in the middle, guys, brutal.
I haven't even seen Saw X, nor the last one, or probably I don't even know where I stopped. This series definitely went on too far for me, but I did appreciate, some of the writing and everything, but they're also very hard for me to watch. I don't like torture, so
yeah,
they were.
That's what kind of sucks about that series is because it goes too. I mean, obviously that's what it is. It's a torture porn for horror, but sometimes it goes too far because, like you said, the story and the twists are kind of intriguing on some of them. I gotta say, I probably went to like all of them in the theater until like up to like 6 or 7, and I was still finding something that I liked about them. Like, oh, it's a cool twist, shitty movie, but cool twist or cool kill.
So Saw X, it means 10, right? There's 10 of them?
Yeah.
So I've probably seen like 3 of them. So this series was dead to me a long time ago. So it deserves to be on the list, in my opinion.
Is Spiral Saw 10 and the
no,
other one Saw 11?
That's Spiral's the 9th installment, even though it's not even really. It's almost like a spin-off because it's not the same killer. Spoilers. But it's almost like a copycat thing, but it's canon film, so it's considered the ninth film in the franchise. But yeah, and then came Saw X, where I think Spiral didn't go over well and people didn't like it, so I think they tried to find a way back to like the original characters, and that's why Saw X kind of tells a story that's in the storyline. I think is supposed to be between the first film and the second film.
Well, it's kind of more of an origin story for the killer, right?
Yes, definitely origin, and again, without giving up too much, it looks at John Kramer in a different light. So it's an intriguing story, and actually a pretty well made film compared to probably I would say like 5 through 9 are fucking, to me, are dog shit. They're not made well. The production's bad. The acting's terrible. The writing's terrible. But they found their way back with Saw X. I think they did a great job. I don't think that it's got a whole lot more legs left. I think they might do this 11th one if it ever happens, but I think after that, I think it's run its course. Obviously, that's why we have it on our list for going on too long.
Unless they want to keep doing it on the cheap, giving it to trash directors and like just trying to make.
But they already did that route with a lot of those ones in the middle because they were pumping them out like every year.
Right.
It got to the point where I think maybe 7 and 8 were like direct to video or something. I don't even know that they had a theatrical run. But yeah, so I think they've gone that route because I'm one of the few people that I've talked to that actually has watched every one of them. I didn't until just recently. My wife bought me the box set like maybe two years ago, and that's when I finally watched some of those ones like 6 through 9 that I hadn't seen before. And again, like I had some fun with it, but at the same time, I thought, holy shit, this is quite a departure from those first 3 films, which I think are pretty strong. The first 3, I think it's a good like trilogy if it was just those 3, but yeah, it kind of goes off the rails a bit and loses its quality for sure.
Yeah, these franchises just go too long sometimes, and they just wear up.
Well, the obvious one, which is probably nobody did because it's so obvious, is Fast and Furious movies.
Good call. Yep.
Yeah, that's a very good call.
I would say Harry Potter because they're trash. I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm the worst person to speak on this because I watched the first one and hated it and never saw another one.
I think there's some good films in the Harry Potter franchise, but for me, they've always like each film is too goddamn long. It's like 2.5 or 3 hours each one, and unless you're like really into it, it's hard to sit through.
I mean, I've heard that they got better, but that first one killed it for me. Like it was too kiddie and
yep.
I hated it, so I was like, I'm out. I got Game of Thrones. What the fuck do I need Harry Potter
I'm going to fight back on this one a little bit. I don't think Harry Potter, I mean, obviously there was 7 books, so they did that. Well, I guess they did 8 movies because they split the last book into 2 movies. Definitely got a little bit more mature. But I mean, obviously, we're talking book to movie. Books are obviously better than the movies every time. I don't think there's ever been a movie that was better than the book, maybe minus
I
Shawshank.
tried to like the books. On Greg's recommendation, I went to the books. I read 2.5 of them, and I just couldn't get into them.
You'd even say Child's Book for the first one, and they grow with the audience. I will say, I'm not like, oh my God, fucking Harry Potter, luminous! But
We got
like,
authors like Joe Abercrombie, like
yeah,
Mark Lawrence, and Pierce Brown, and I don't need Harry Potter.
Scott Sigler. Well,
Yes.
I mean, it is a cool, unique wizarding world. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. I'm not like some Star Wars nerd or some Harry Potter nerd.
Well,
I
then
just
go
think
check out
it's good.
Jim Butcher's Harry Dresden Files. They got
I
all that
have.
Harry Potter and more. Like they do it way better.
Yeah, the Dresden Files is more of like a modern day Harry Potter, where he's like kind of like a detective in the real world or whatever. And it's really, really good. Really, I recommend it. I've read 3 of them, and I think there's like
They're
18
great.
of them.
They like keep getting better too.
Reason I never liked Harry Potter is I can't stand like whimsical fantasy. Like that just doesn't work for me. Like I have a rough time with period pieces as it is. Like, and I'm not saying this is period pieces, this is more fantasy, but fantasy films and period pieces are like just not for me. And I think that's one of the main reasons I never got. And I never read the books. I'm notoriously bad at sitting down and reading a book because I'm a slow reader, and I have to be really intrigued by the story. And obviously, with not liking fantasy, I just can't get into it. So that's I think my big drawback.
Have you tried audiobooks then?
I have, yeah. I've listened to a few audiobooks, but I mean, we know this. I'd rather listen to a podcast. It's just listening to somebody tell a fictional story to me. I get a little bored after a while unless it's short. But yeah, so I think I don't know if I have ADHD. Maybe I do, but yeah, anything long. Like Greg knows, I don't even like long music. Like just give me 3 or 4 minutes of a song and get me out. Give me a film that's 90 minutes, to an hour 45. I can handle that. But anything more than that, I get like antsy.
Yeah, I agree. Some songs drag on way too long. Like I think 5 minutes should be the cutoff.
Yeah,
agreed.
But then you get like the bands like Tool who like kind of went in a different direction, and they have like 11, 12-minute songs. I don't want to.
Yeah, and they all sound the
disrespect
same,
them.
and their later albums are fucking boring.
Yeah, they can be. I mean, it's a lot of intricate little jams, but
They've released the same album like 3 times in a row.
just like Mac Lethal said. So Justin, do you hate Legend?
No, so that's probably the exception to the rule. I think that film's fantastic.
Never Ending Story. I mean, like,
yeah. No, that I can't get into. But Legend, whatever reason, I think what it was with Legend was that, and I don't remember what the character was named, but like that devil character by Tim Curry, like,
was fucking awesome.
Yeah, like it really grabbed my attention. So that movie, and I
looks
think
like a Hell Knight from Doom.
Right? Yeah, and that's cool too. But I think it was that dark aspect of it that really drew me in. I need some darkness if it's going to be fantasy.
Some Ridley Scott right there.
Yep.
Yeah, and people are kind of up in the air about Legend. I thought it was known that it was an awesome movie, but I think Ryan hates it, right? I can't.
I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen like parts of it. I've never actually watched.
You've never seen Legend?
Nah, like one of those ones I must have missed when I was younger.
Oh man, you gotta watch Legend. It's an awesome fantasy movie.
I don't think I could go back and enjoy it now. I'd be like, meh.
Yeah, some of the special effects. I mean, some of them are pretty cool though. That like Witch in the Bog is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, there's definitely a creepy tone to it. I really like it for that reason.
Justin, what you got?
Well, I already told you about Saul, but I do have 2 more. Let me give you this one because I got to talk about this one. This was number 1 for me. As soon as Greg asked me about doing this concept, the first one that came to mind immediately was fucking Star Wars. Listen, man.
I agree and disagree. If they're good, I want more, but
well, let me start with the first film. I have always thought that the first Star Wars film might be the most overrated film in the history of cinema. To me, I always classified it as a B movie with a budget. Awful acting, terrible writing, stupid story, clumsy, doesn't look as good as people say it does. Like, I'm going to compare it to, I'm a Kubrick guy, okay? I know 2001 is not everybody's bag. It's a boring film. There's not much of a story, but the way it looks visually is stunning, and that was made in 1968. Yet everybody raves about Star Wars in 77. I don't even think it looks that great. Give me special effects in the 80s and horror all day over Star Wars. But It goes on. There's like
Yeah, like
way too
aliens.
many. There's changes. There's add-ons. To me, Rogue One was probably the only good story with intriguing characters. Rest of them, couldn't care about the characters. A lot of the characters were annoying to me. All three of the like trilogies are almost hard for me to even sit down and watch anymore. I just can't stand it. And then TV series, like, holy shit, when's it going to stop?
Well, Crusters, we don't endorse his views on Star Wars. We love Star Wars, but there is too much. Disney was the best and worst thing to happen to Star Wars. They're beating it to death, unfortunately. I can't stand most of the series. They're terrible. But I love the movies, and even the bad movies I could enjoy. Something about Star Wars, the world, the atmosphere, the Jedi, the Sith, lightsabers. It just resonates with me. So even some of the bad movies, I could still sit there and appreciate. But yeah, there's a lot of trash Star Wars out there, especially since Disney got a hold of them.
I agree with that. Like, I like the original trilogy, and I like some of the second trilogy, like Phantom of the Menace and Revenge of the Sith. However, I'm not a big Star Wars nerd like our buddy Hawk. If it's Star Wars, he's into it. He loves everything,
Right.
every show, everything.
Right, he watches every bad show. You see, Ryan Reynolds is trying to get an R-rated Star Wars from Disney. He's been going to them, trying to get in talks with that.
Deadpool's coming into Star Wars.
Well, he's not going to star. He said he didn't want to star in it, but he wanted to like have a hand in making an R-rated Star Wars.
No, I'd be all about that.
I would love that. What I hate about Star Wars is how they have to throw in they have to put in too much in a movie. Like they have to give everyone 100 Easter eggs in this movie, throw in every character, mix them all, tie them all together, even though the plot doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's all fan service at this point.
Yeah,
it's IP. It's all IP. I can't stand it.
Oh my God,
hate
that's
that
Yoda's
shit.
third cousin.
Right. That shit annoys me, and that turns me off to it.
We've talked about it on our PlayStation party. The scene in Obi-Wan where young Leia is like a 7 or 8 year old child running from like 20 adults, and they just can't catch her. Like, I get it, kids are squirmy, but like,
she was
awful.
I hated that. I hated that series because of her character, and I ended up just skipping to like the last episode because I couldn't get through that series. I just wanted to watch Obi-Wan and Vader fight. That's all I wanted to see.
Yeah, sadly, she did ruin the series. It was tough. I did the same thing. So
that's the thing. They always have to have that stupid character for, to make the kids want to see, or the stupid, the little cute little creatures that have this funny, stupid moment in the theater that annoys me. But
they're like fucking Jar Jar Binks, one of the worst characters in the history of movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Star Wars is kind of for kids in a way. Like it was for us when we were.
It's not. The biggest fans are people our age.
Well, I know, but that's because they watched it in the 70s as kids.
Well, Ryan Reynolds gets it. Give us our R-rated Star Wars.
I would love it. That's akin to The Watchmen. I'm not a huge fan of Marvel movies. I do love a lot of Marvel movies. Talk about beating a dead horse. Watchmen.
I want to see the lightsaber actually cut these motherfuckers instead of using it like a baseball bat. I want to see like heads getting chopped off, people getting cut in half. I want to see Leia's titties. Let's go.
I want to see younglings getting cut down.
Exactly. I'm going to go with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Good call.
I mean, the first one was great, excellent. Johnny Depp was amazing as Captain Jack Sparrow, but they just kept going with it. They just tried to do too much with it, and I thought
Agreed.
It was a good trilogy, or at least the first two, they just beat to death.
I think I've maybe seen 3 of them, but like it just got out of control.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think I've seen them all either.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, back to what I said, like period piece, fantasy, all that never appealed to me. I watched the first one with the missus. She was kind of into it. I think I might have watched the second one, but it's so forgettable for me. I don't even remember any of it. I remember Johnny Depp in the first one. Yeah, it just doesn't appeal to me at all. Like it's a series that I can leave behind. I sometimes even forget it exists.
The first one I liked a lot, and the second one maybe was cool, but yeah, I didn't care. And then I don't even remember where I stopped watching. I don't even know how many of them there are, but they need to stop making them.
Yeah.
That's one of the movies that had something for everyone in it, I believe. They might have went over the top a little bit in some of the moments, but it was still I felt like everyone could appreciate some scenes of that or some portion of the first movie at least.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's a good pick. Well, moving on to my second pick, Kate from Down Under. I apologize for this. It's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that was one of my hot takes. I can enjoy these movies.
Same.
But yeah, there's nothing's been as good as the first one.
I really like the first three. I really enjoyed the first three a lot, and then mildly enjoyed the three others or the four others, how many they have. I think the last one that they did, I just watched, and it was probably the worst one I've seen. Did I get enjoyment out of it? Absolutely. And I love dinosaurs. And
that being said, I will still watch the next one.
For sure. It looked awesome. It looks awesome. But I talked about, like, some films can redeem themselves. Some films can have three movies that are shit, and then like, oh my God, fucking Top Gun 7. Whew.
Another hot take to me is Terminator movies after T2. I've liked a couple of them. I've enjoyed a couple of them. A couple of them were trash, but like Star Wars to me, I love the Terminator series, so I can still I can enjoy watching them, but they weren't that good, some of them. And like T2 was the penultimate action movie.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys said. I think there's a lot to be had in the Jurassic Park franchise. I think it is enjoyable, every one of them.
Yep.
I can enjoy a little bit of. Yeah, I think it went on too long. I don't really care for the newest ones. Like, I liked Jurassic World, the first of like the newest set. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very entertaining. Nothing to me stands up to the first one. It's the first one's one of those where I feel like it could just be a standalone, a lot like Jaws. Like, I think it's the OG. It's the one that I will probably always go back to every couple years to rewatch, because it's that good. Where the rest of them, I could take them or leave them. Again, is there stuff there that I could be entertained by? Absolutely. I'd rather watch probably any of those installments than watch some of those Saw flicks in the middle, watch Star Wars, the Pirates films, all of those. So, yeah, I think they're real good. And then, like, I'm with you on Terminator. The original Terminator is fucking amazing. I mean, it's just a great sci-fi horror film. T2 is one of my favorite action films of all time. And I kind of like, was it called Salvation, the one that was Bale was in?
Mm-hmm.
I actually kind of low-key like that one. It's almost like my Alien 3 of the Terminator franchise. At the same time, I agree with you. Like, a lot of the later stuff, I'm just not interested in. I won't even watch them. I just don't care anymore. I only care about, the first few. And like I said, maybe Salvation. But other than that, back to what I said with the other stuff, I would probably watch a Jurassic Park flick before I'd watch some of those later Terminator ones. I'm just not invested in it anymore.
Jurassic Park, the original, is up there for one of the better movies of all time, in my opinion. It's borderline.
When I saw it, blew me away. That was my favorite movie at the time. I couldn't get enough. I think I saw it probably like 3 times in the theater.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got drama, it's got action, it's got comedy, and it's done very well. Of course, it's
great score.
Spielberg. So
yeah, I mean, the effects were amazing at the time.
Yep, absolutely.
Still stand up, in a way. They're not too bad.
It spawned so many, like, whether it be like Godzilla, like with their like little raptors or whatever, like that, those like special effects for Jurassic Park were used in so many other movies after that. For Terminator, yeah, like I agree, 1 and 2 were excellent. I want to say I might have seen 3, and that's it. Like, I don't think I've seen any of the other ones at all.
I think I've seen them all, but I can't remember them.
Yeah. That's the thing. They all almost become the same at some point. I can't remember what's what anymore.
Yeah.
The first 2, obviously.
But with a name like Terminator, you're guaranteed to sell tickets.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But I hate it when you throw out something that's inferior just to sell tickets. So I hope the next one they do right, good story, good direction with, director, and I want to enjoy it a lot. I want it to be amazing.
Is there another one coming?
I think so.
Of course
there's got to be.
I thought there definitely has to be. I thought there was, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
There has to be.
I don't see anything. Maybe there isn't.
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah, give it time.
There will be.
Justin, what do you got?
All right, so my third one that I had listed, I got to do this one, dude. It's Halloween, man. Listen.
It was on my list as well.
I love horror. There's a lot of things about Halloween I like. It's not my favorite franchise. It's not my favorite characters. Like, the story's been recycled to death. The Laurie Strode story is a fucking mess. Changes to the timeline. She has a son. She has a daughter. She's his sister. She's not his sister. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand. I had this tangent on my own show. I don't understand why they relied so heavily on Laurie Strode's character throughout this franchise. And then not only do they rely so heavily on it, you get Rob Zombie doing his dog shit, versions of Halloween. That has to incorporate it. They have to bring her back for H2O. David Gordon Green's ones have to include her. Like, why do they rely so heavily on this character? A lot of people consider her to be one of the great final girls. I don't. I don't think she's that great. I think she's overrated. I don't think she's a great character. Had they went with the original premise of this was just a thing, the shape that goes after people for no reasons, it's just random, I think it would have been stronger. And I think a lot of the reasons why Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is so beloved by many is because it did things differently.
Yeah.
And the rest did not. And I don't care what anyone says. I think Halloween 4, I agree with Scott from you, Ron. Halloween 4 is dog shit. I would rather watch Halloween Resurrection because, again, it's different. They did something different with the characters. I don't care if it's got Busta Rhymes in there doing Kung Fu or whatever. I'm down with it because it's fucking different. Halloween just doesn't know how to do things different. And that, it's like when you take Child's Play. I love that Child's Play has evolved. It's done things different. You could say that with A Nightmare on Elm Street, other than the remake, but it's gone to different places. Fucking Jason went to space. There's a reason why Friday the 13th is my favorite franchise. They were not afraid to do shit different. But Halloween just leans on the same shit all the time, and it's actually handicapped the franchise because they've had to retell the story and change it up too often. I hate it.
Yeah, I've never been a huge Halloween fan. I mean, there's a couple of movies that I enjoyed, but it was never, great to me. It was never my favorite character either.
And they had a chance. Like, if they would have pivoted the way it looked like they were going and made the girl, Jamie, the actual killer after part 4, it would have been intriguing. They could have done something different. But, the creators, the producers just can't do it. No, we need to pump out the same stuff. It makes money. Let's just do it again. And I just, it's so lazy. It pisses me off.
I enjoyed the first Rob Zombie elements of it. I didn't love it. I just like how they did the backstory of him when he was a kid. I thought that was kind of cool. But story about that is I brought my buddy Lionel to go see the second Rob Zombie Halloween, and he will never trust me to watch another movie. He brings it up every time. He's like, you brought me to that movie. I was like, dude, I know it's a shit movie. Trust me. But he brings it up every time. That movie ruined my opinion for movies forever.
You fractured his trust in you.
Well, it was Cabin Fever and then Halloween 2. It's fucking I'm ruined.
Yeah, funny story for me. Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is the only Halloween, because I've seen them all. In spite of me hating them, I've seen them all because it's just something I know and I grew up on, like you guys can relate to. But Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, was the only film in the franchise that I watched for about 20 minutes, turned it off. I said, nope, never again. I fucking hate it. And I think I don't like Rob Zombie as a filmmaker. I think he's a trash filmmaker, and I just can't get into it.
Hot take. I agree. Some of his, House of a Thousand Corpses, it's okay. I don't see it what everyone else sees.
Okay, I liked some of it, but
his first 3 movies I think I liked slightly, but I don't get the appeal.
They didn't blow me away, and I could have done without them, but I did, enjoy a couple of them.
Yep, 100%.
Gotcha. I want to say Marvel MCU movies, there's enough is enough. Unless you're going to make a really good one, just stop.
Yeah, it's gotten out of hand.
And I am somewhat looking forward to the new Avengers, but also it's probably gonna I'm gonna have too high of expectations for it, and it's gonna disappoint me. I do want to see Thunderbolts. That one looks pretty good. For every good one, they make about 4 or 5 bad ones.
I think it goes back to what you said earlier, Seamus. I blame Disney on it.
Yeah,
it's a money-making machine.
Just like what they did to Star Wars, they're doing to Marvel now.
Quality does not fucking matter.
Yeah.
Sure, they throw a bunch of money at it so that it'll look pretty good.
They don't put any writing on, no good plots,
no writing,
holes
no
everywhere.
Direction. Doesn't fucking matter. Just pump it out.
And it's just endless content as well too.
Exactly.
Endless source material is what I was trying to say.
It's quantity over quality all the way.
Same thing. There's too many series, that aren't good, and just trying to, like I said, pump them out like a factory and get that money. I am looking forward to the next X-Men series. I love the X-Men movies. I'm not sure that that's even an MCU movie, but regardless, I mean, Marvel and Disney is what it is. But I do look forward to a couple of them. But yeah, they make too many bad ones.
Yep.
To maintain my trust in this, franchise going forward.
Yeah, and I'll just to finish off my thoughts on that. Like, my opinion is the best Marvel content outside of comics, the best Marvel content that I've ever personally been a part, that I've seen or experienced during its run, was the original Netflix Marvel television series. The Defender series,
Animated?
whether it be the Daredevil one, the Punisher.
I loved the
Jessica
Daredevil
Jones.
on Netflix.
I thought the Netflix ones were really well done.
Most of them,
Because
I
they didn't
agree.
have the Disney influence.
Right, I agree. I liked the Netflix series. I do want to see the new Daredevil Born Again, but I've heard mixed reviews on it.
It's decent for the Disney, connection now.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's still not that original series.
Like the Punisher was amazing on Netflix.
Absolutely.
I still got to watch The Punisher.
Oh, so good.
Oh, it's great.
I love John, what's his name too?
Bernthal, yeah. I think he's awesome. I think he's a great Frank Castle.
Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Like, he's the best. That's
and there's great violence. There's good gore.
Very violent.
The Netflix series did it right, man. It's Marvel for adults, and that's what I appreciate about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good call. Seamus, what you got?
I would say the Mission Impossible movies. I don't even remember half of them. I think I've seen them all. Maybe seen them all. Maybe not. I don't even know. But
never seen a single one.
Like, there's people that are like waiting for this Mission Impossible movie, and I could just care less.
I like Ghost Protocol. I thought that was kind of cool, and there's definitely elements that are pretty cool about them. But yeah, it's your typical. That's what these franchises that have gone too long are doing. They're just kind of rehashing the same formula in a way, and like throwing some wild card out there.
And I really can't stand Tom Cruise, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I think he sucks. He's a horrible person.
Yeah, he is.
I did like what's the one where they keep repeat die.
Oh yeah, Edge of Tomorrow, great film. In spite of Tom Cruise, it's a great film.
Like, Top Guns are amazing.
I love Minority Report too.
That's a great film too.
He's got some good movies.
He does have.
Love him or hate him.
Yep.
He's definitely got some good movies on his belt. He's got some not so good movies, but
yep, 100%.
I love Top Gun. I thought those movies are great, but now they're going to take it too far. They're going to keep going with it. They're going to make a Top Gun 3, Top Gun 4. If there's a Top Gun 5, I'm already boycotting it. I mean, even though Top Gun and Top Gun 2 were the same exact movie, I did like them both.
I still haven't seen either of them. It's crazy that I've never seen Top Gun 1. I've heard amazing things about both, but I've heard really good things
I've
about
seen
Top
the
Gun
first
2.
film. I haven't seen the second one. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I think a lot of it is I'm just so tired of Tom Cruise, and that's why I'm struggling to even watch the newest one.
Yeah. No, it was good. I mean, it was good cast, characters, and it's not as much about him as his like students or whatever as well. But again, they were like, it was like the same. It was the same story, in essence. They even had like similar scenes, But
it's just a movie with Tom Cruise trying not to kiss everyone. So my last one, I'm talking Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have stopped at 3. It was a great trilogy. I don't know. I went from 1981 to 2008. Obviously, another Spielberg vehicle. Do you all of them? No,
I don't think so.
Like, how long of a gap was there between 3 and 4?
Oh man!
And sometimes trying to bring back a movie franchise after it's been done for like a decade or more isn't always the best idea.
Sometimes it is. I'm gonna get to that soon, but yeah, I think I agree. It was quite a gap. I don't remember how many years, but it was quite a ways.
Yeah, like Evil Dead took a break, I think, and that one was fucking excellent.
Oh, fucking awesome!
Evil Dead Rise was the fucking shit.
Yeah, I don't want to sidebar, but like Evil Dead went from being a franchise that would probably be in our second piece where we want more.
Yep.
And trust me, do I still want Ash? Do I still want Bruce Campbell? Yeah, I do. I know he's a lot older now, but I still would like to have him in some way in the franchise. But having said that, it went from being a franchise that I wanted more of, and then we finally got more, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I thought that the 2013 film was excellent. I thought Evil Dead Rise was fucking awesome, and I can't wait to the next one. Like, it's a franchise that went from being already great in the first trilogy to being just adding to it. And that's what we said so many times. Like all these later ones don't add to it, to their franchises. The new Evil Dead's actually add to it. I fucking love
and they, like you said, they changed it up and didn't try and keep doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Like you said, that is on my second portion. That's on my list. Evil Dead, I can't get enough of, especially if they keep putting out quality like the last couple.
The 2013 was like a gore fest. That was fucking nasty.
Yeah, I fucking loved
it was great though.
I liked Rise probably better, but
Me too.
There was some crazy action in the 2013 one. It was awesome. Yeah, like you said, a gore fest.
Well, just the opening scene of the 2013 one was awesome, where the girl's running, and you think she's running for her life, and she's running because she's the demon, and she's getting chased down by everybody. Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't seen 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm not.
I have no interest in seeing 4 and 5.
But yeah, you're playing the game and loving the story and telling how good it is. So
yes, the Indiana Jones, the Great Circle.
So there's potential for a good Indiana Jones movie if it's written right.
Yeah, but it's young Indiana Jones. He's like young looking.
Yeah, like my hot take with this, guys, is I don't like Harrison Ford. I really don't.
Well, he's too old to be Indiana Jones now anyway.
Yeah, but even back then, I never fucking cared for him. He's part of the reason why I can't stand Star Wars. Him and Mark Hamill, I can't stand either one of them. I think they're terrible actors. And the only good Indiana Jones film to me was Temple of Doom. I thought that was a lot of fun. It was probably the only one I had fun with because I never cared for the first one, and the third one with Sean Connery, I don't know, dude. I tried to watch it. I just was bored. So, yeah, I've been over Indiana Jones for a long time.
I liked the first 2 a lot, and I did, the third was cool too. But like I said, you don't need to bring it back. Trilogy was nice and sweet. Everyone appreciated it. And I'm trying to wring all the money out of it.
Temple of Doom was awesome. Temple of Doom was great. So you didn't like Regarding Henry? Ritz cracker.
No.
Some top-notch acting.
I don't know if we're keeping on going here, but I would just mention James Bond. I mean, there's too many of those. I don't remember the last one I watched, but I didn't like it. I think I've missed a couple now.
Yeah, we can throw out a couple if we just, have some randoms that we want to throw out as well.
But
it's almost like the Jurassic Park effect where the first one with Daniel Craig was like excellent, and then they just smashed into the ground and like, hey, let's keep it going.
Right. I did love. It wasn't Casino Royale, but that was the second one with him.
No, it was the first. That was the first Daniel Craig one.
Yeah, that movie was great.
Great film. Yeah, I think in that franchise, there's a lot of good stuff there, and I actually really like the James Bond franchise. I don't know.
I do too.
There's something comforting about those films, and it was one of those things I grew up with, and I kind of like that you had the different eras, that were represented from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I kind of like that that it was, in those different decades, and they all have a different look, even though they're all essentially the same story. But I kind of like that about it. There's definitely some shit ones, but I'll tell you right now, like, I love the Timothy Dalton ones. Like, I grew up.
Me too. I grew up on those too. Like, I'm not saying that I didn't.
Right, I know.
I absolutely love James Bond series. Like I said, I grew up watching these movies.
A long time.
But the last couple was just, but man, like there's a bunch of explosions and shit, but the story isn't quite there.
Right.
Or the fantasy or the romanticism of, the James Bond.
When you get to like 10 or 11, like you can only tell the same story differently so many times, you gotta.
Right. Unless you have this screenplay or story that's just going to blow everyone away, you probably should just keep working on that until you got that gold, writing.
Exactly.
Don't try to sell the name.
Right.
All right. Well, you guys got any more that have gone too long you want to throw out there before we get into the other topic?
No, I think between you guys and me, I've covered most of the ones I can think of.
The Taken series.
Oh, Taken 3.
After the first one.
Yeah, like did we even need a sequel?
We didn't. That was a great standalone movie. It should have been. And,
yeah, because listen, if in reality, if people that you are involved with keep getting taken, you might as well just fucking give up.
Yeah, you're a horrible dad. Your daughter and your wife keep on getting
get the
taken.
Fuck out of here. I can no longer root for you if you keep allowing your loved ones to get taken. Like,
Taken 3. Maybe it's actually me.
How about you take this family seriously?
Maybe I'm the problem. That's a good one. That's a good call, though. Yeah, because that would have been a great standalone. It's a fucking excellent movie.
Absolutely.
So this one is basically movie franchises. It could be one movie. It could be 2 movies. It could be 3 or 4 movies, but we just want more of it, and we think we need more of it. Any franchises you want to mention, Justin?
Yeah, so let me throw out my first one because I loved it since I was a kid. I'm actually kind of shocked that this didn't have more installments. And it's Gremlins, dude. I love the first film. I actually think 2 is a lot of fun too, the new batch. I also think that we needed a cartoon as well. I can't believe we didn't get one back in the 80s or early 90s.
I am very shocked there was no cartoon for us back then.
That's what I mean. I'm blown away that the Gremlins, IP and franchise didn't last longer because I think about one like Critters. I love Critters. Critters and Critters 2 is fucking awesome.
I was going to say, the first couple, then
right. But then
Critters
trash. Went on forever, and they did the direct-to-video installments of that. So how Critters continued to go on, but we didn't get more Gremlins, which I don't know the numbers.
Well, we are, aren't we?
Gremlins was pretty successful.
There's
a new Gremlins movie coming out
in 2025.
Oh, I did see that. But it's been such a long time. I don't know what that's going to be like. But to me, they really missed the boat in the 90s because that second one came out in 1990. Why we didn't get a cartoon and at least another flick is beyond me. I don't get it, but I'm down with some more Gremlins, dude. I always love Gremlins.
I just feel like the new Gremlins probably will have its cool moments, but ultimately it probably won't satiate all your desires for this franchise.
Yeah, they missed the boat. We needed it in the 90s. It was the right decade for it. It would have been a lot of fun, and like I said, I'm shocked that we didn't get it.
This one's going to be like Gizmo's fucking grandchild or something.
that and I'm afraid it'll take itself too serious. I'm always concerned about that these days because that's what I'm concerned about. If we ever get the new Crystal Lake series, I'm afraid it's going to take itself too serious and not be fun enough. So that's what I'm kind of concerned about with Gremlins as well.
I know you're in the middle of it, but when a franchise isn't right, like Fallout, I was very worried about that series. It's fucking excellent. I'm very worried about this BioShock movie they're going to be making.
Yeah, me too. I'm hoping that's great.
We totally forgot about, not to go back to the other topic, but we forgot about Ghostbusters as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't even seen the last 2 or 3.
I refuse to watch anymore.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things. I actually enjoyed the female one, but it wasn't amazing. But I like that cast. I like Melissa McCarthy, and I thought Chris Hemsworth was pretty funny in it. But was it necessary? Not necessarily,
Yeah. Well, I don't think we needed 8 police academies, but the first couple were good.
Exactly.
One of my franchises that I'm surprised we didn't get another one of is, not that it was a giant success, but I loved it. It's from James Gunn, 2006. I'm talking about Slither.
Nice.
Good call. Was that only one film?
Yeah.
And that's an easy one to do a second one of and not,
Exactly.
Yeah, I loved that movie.
But then I also think to myself, I love Tremors and maybe the second one. But then after that, it's okay.
Yeah.
Enough's enough. So I wonder if Slither might have went the same route. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, but I feel like they could have gotten something good out of a second one and not try to keep going with them.
Yeah.
I agree, yeah. I think another 1 or 2 would have been good.
Yeah, it all depends. They could have made 1 or 2 more, and if they kept it legit, but they could have also screwed the pooch, and the second one would have been fucking trash, and it could have been gone the route that Tremors went.
Yep.
A lot of it comes down to the director, the writing, and the cast,
And, not to go back again, but I'm glad Seamus just said it, so I got to bring this up. I think the reason, when I look at Child's Play and Chucky, Don Mancini always being the intricate part of that, it being his baby, I think is why it's maintained a pretty high level of quality, other than that fucking trash remake thing they did or reboot. But the rest of the franchise, I think, has been high quality, and it's gone places because of him. And so I think Seamus is right. If you have somebody that's passionate about it and strives for the best stories, it can work. But we don't get that a lot of times. A lot of times it's just producers or studios that are pump it out. Hire somebody on the cheap. Let's get this going.
That's the problem with franchises, right? I mean, because most of the time it doesn't stay with the people that started it. They start, selling it out to, other people, other directors, other directions, and then it sometimes ruins the franchise.
Absolutely.
I can't get enough of Lord of the Rings, so I would like more Lord of the Rings movies.
Let's go.
I got nothing to say. I fucking hate Lord of the Rings.
I was waiting for this. I knew he was going to.
Return of the King was one of the longest experiences of my life where I literally thought I was going to have to run out in traffic. That fucking movie felt like it went on for days. I can't believe I tried to watch it.
Amazing movie.
Ate it.
And there's so much lore and badass shit in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They totally could.
I love Lord of the Rings, but I know next to nothing about all the Tolkien lore and worlds, There's so much, and it's just...
I'd rather rewatch Hook.
Hey, speaking of ones that need another movie.
No, it does not.
Hook 2. Hook.
Yeah, I mean, they have so much literature to fall back on that they could use.
Like, I feel like they did that a little bit for The Hobbit. The Hobbit was stretched out a little bit.
I don't even know if the Rings of Power, the show on Amazon, is even based on any of his books. I think it's a great series. It started out a little slow, but I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to season 3.
That's one of the series I got to get back into.
Season 2 was pretty badass.
I've heard that, yeah.
Is it back to me? So this one might be controversial to pick this, but I would have really liked to have had a little bit more in the Godfather world.
I was actually thinking that. It's a good call.
Yeah, like the first 2 films are arguably 2 of the greatest films of all time, especially Part 2. I think Part 2 is a masterpiece. Not a big fan of Part 3.
Yep.
But
is anybody?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just not great. What I would love to have had, even though I've criticized some spin-offs of other things, but I would love to have just gotten a couple shorter films that maybe were a spin-off of some of those characters from The Godfather that hadn't died, whether it be Tom, some of these other guys that I was really intrigued with as far as characters in those first 2 films especially. And I guess maybe I haven't seen the third one in a long time, so maybe some of them were already dead by that point. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But even if they would have done the route of what I said with Saul X, maybe give us something in a different timeline that's in between stuff and tell the story, I'd have been really down with that. I would have loved to maybe have like 2 shorter films in the Godfather universe in the 90s. I think it would have, or even the early 2000s might have been a lot of fun.
I mean, that's what they did for the second one. The second one's a prequel, and it's fucking excellent.
The second one was great. I think the first movie is overrated, to be honest. I just went back and rewatched it recently. I was like, I don't see what the big hype is. But I like the second one better, to be honest.
See, and if you do like The Godfather, you'll love Sopranos then. So
yeah, I know, and that's what we talked about. Like, I love, I love Goodfellas as well. Like, I'm not a big gangsta guy. I'm not like, I got to see a gangster film.
Same.
It's not that, but there's definitely elements of it that I really enjoy. So I think I would like The Sopranos once I get into it. Because again, it's almost like I'm sitting here saying I'd love to have a little bit more Godfather, and I think that's kind of what we got with Sopranos. So
James Gandolfini's fucking excellent in that show.
He is excellent.
A lot of great side characters.
And that's, I think, one show that somebody could go back and watch now and still really appreciate.
I agree. That's what kind of kicked off all like the really good series and like stuff on HBO. But I thought about that. I was like, Godfather 3 sucked. I'm surprised that because it sucked, they didn't at least do a 4, try to like
redeem themselves.
And redeem it. And it could have been done because 3 was pretty fucking lame. And it was pretty boring. They're all boring in some aspects, but the first 2 tell like a remarkable story.
So some people might put these on the first list, but personally, I can't get enough of Aliens, Predator movies. I say keep them coming. Sure, have they all been top quality? No, but I still enjoy any tale and Getty movie that I see of these. The last Aliens, and that went in another different direction, like we talked about.
Yeah, it did. Like, in my opinion, the only weak ones were the ones that was integrated with the Predator. Like, I just didn't care for Alien versus Predator, but Alien as a whole throughout the franchise, I think it's high quality. Like we've talked about, I love Alien 3. I think it's so underrated and really shit on for unfair reasons. I really think it's a great film.
I think initially I was a little bit let down when I watched 3, but when I go back and watch it again, it was a better movie.
Oh yeah, I think it holds up great on rewatch.
I agree with that. The reason that gets so much hate is because it's like following up Terminator 2. Because in my opinion, Aliens is right up there with Terminator 2 as one of the greatest movies, action movies, sci-fi movies of all time. 3 was good. It was just a letdown because we were expecting so much more.
And I think what it is, it's like they got Fincher, right? Fincher directed that film, and he has his own style, and I don't think people were ready for that. And I know Fincher has said he didn't have as much creative control as he wanted. So there's that too. Like to your point, Greg, people saw Aliens and what that was. Just this blockbuster, amazing action flick, action sci-fi flick. And I think when we got Alien 3, which was a lot more subtle and a lot darker. I don't think people were ready for that.
Yeah, Aliens was like an action film. Alien 3 was like a stalker creature, like stalking people and stuff. Essentially, kind of like the first one a little bit.
You know, you find out that Ripley's not even, or she's synthetic or whatever. And
Well, that's the fourth one.
Oh, yeah, that's the fourth one. That's Resurrection.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not as good of a film.
But still good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I liked that as well, too.
Yeah, like I said, I liked them all. So the crossovers haven't worked, but that doesn't mean that they can't do it right.
Yeah, well, that new crossover cartoon that's coming out looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
The Predator cartoon with, they're hunting aliens, so.
Yeah, and it's like in like World War II era or something like
Yep.
that, isn't it? Or is it even before? Is it around then?
I think it's around then.
Yeah.
All right, my second film, I apologize to Justin, but I'm doing it. I'm talking about Life's a Box of Chocolates.
Oh,
You never know what you're going to get.
No, don't.
I'm talking about Forrest Gump. Listen,
Don't ruin such a great movie.
it's not a great movie.
I read the second book. There's a second book called Gump and Co. And I really enjoyed the second book. And I wanted Gump and Co. to be made into a movie. And they could have done
Maybe
it.
we could do one more, but you can't keep going with them.
Yeah, for sure. But I could have got at least one more Gump and Co.
If the book's really that good, then maybe it would have done well.
When I was reading the book, all I could see was like just Tom Hanks in my head, just fucking everything up, just being stupid, doing stupid shit. And it's, his son's growing up, his son's really smart, and his son's just basically saving his dad from getting into shenanigans nonstop.
I mean, that sounds cute and heartwarming, I guess. And, it sounds like it has potential.
It's 2029. They're like, hey, we should make another Forrest Gump movie. So we'll get it like 2030.
That is a good premise, though. Like, the boy's grown up healthy and normal and, and having to deal with the issues, things that arise with his dad and his condition.
And that's what the book is. It's like him basically bailing his dad out of everything, his dad getting into all sorts of shenanigans, doing
people trying
all sorts of
to
Forrest
fight him,
Gump
probably.
shit. Yeah.
Spoilers, you did get part 2. It's called The Sixth Sense.
What?
Because Haley Joel Osment, he's the one that plays his son in Forrest Gump, and he's in, Sixth Sense.
Oh.
Let's just say that, Forrest is actually the dead guy. Instead of Bruce Willis, that's actually Forrest Gump. Someone was smart enough to kill the Forrest Gump character off. Good job. M. Night Shyamalan, doing it right in 1999.
Or we get Forrest Gump 2, where he's a serial killer.
Oh, there you go. That might be a twist I might be into.
That ruins everything that Forrest Gump was in the first movie.
All right, back to the top.
All right. So my last one, and I said this earlier about how there was a gap between one installment until they came back later, much like Evil Dead, because mine's Mad Max. So I love Fury Road. I haven't seen the latest one yet. I'm not
so
sure.
It was.
Is it good? Okay.
I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
Furiosa?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Furiosa was great.
But here's what we missed. Here's what they missed the ball on to me. Like, I feel like Mad Max in the 90s would have been fucking awesome. Like, and if they'd have kept Mel Gibson, he would have brought like a whole different energy to it in the 90s compared to what he did in the earlier films.
I agree.
But yeah, Beyond Thunderdome was always one of my favorite movies as a kid. I just love the look of it. I love the tone, the music. I just really dig that franchise. I was happy when it came back, and I thought Fury Road was fucking amazing.
Awesome. Yep.
So again, yes, we did get more installments much later, and I think they did it well. But I would have, I think they missed the boat, much like the Gremlins, where we didn't get anything in the 90s, and I think it'd have been a perfect decade for more of it.
Well, like you said, they changed the franchise up too. Fury Road is just essentially like Mel Gibson's Apocalypto, where it's a giant chase scene.
Right.
As much as I think Mel Gibson's kind of a piece of shit right now, I think redoing a Mad Max movie with Mel Gibson would be fucking kind of cool.
I was just thinking that too. I mean, I could see that being great or bad.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to do that with Mad Max genre or franchise. You could tell endless tales and just bring in new characters. You don't even have to try and.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, you should watch Furiosa. You'll enjoy it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Awesome.
I think it's streaming somewhere now, so I should check it out soon.
Yeah, I remember Seamus and his brother were both speaking very highly of it, and I finally got to check it out a month or two ago.
I really wasn't expecting to like it that much. Didn't, look that great, but I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, it was really good. Seamus, what's your last one?
I could always go with more of Romero's Dead movies. I mean, I love zombie movies, and I love his trilogy. So you keep coming. You can never have too many zombie movies.
I think they have kept coming because they have like Diary of the Dead and like I think they kind of maybe not went too long, but they've got like probably 4 or 5 of them that are like straight to video.
So I don't even know what Diary of the Dead is.
There's one of them that's like I remember I saw one of them that's a handheld one where like this guy was like putting all his family members in his pool. He was like weighting their ankles down like cement, so like all his family members like just floating in the pool.
Well, clearly I meant good dead movies.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a bit of a hot take, though. I have always found a lot of his to be a bit boring. I would have preferred more Return of the Living Dead, even though I think Return of the Living Dead Part 2 is not great. And I think they did do some later ones that might have went direct to video that I never watched. But the first Return of the Living Dead is amazing. One of my favorite movies of all time. One of the greatest horror comedies of all time. Part 3 is an underrated gem. Fucking Part 3 is amazing, and it's very 90s. It's very industrial.
They're also coming out with a new Return of the Living Dead. It's
happening. I saw that, which I'm pretty jacked about. Like, I'm excited. Again, I'm afraid it's gonna be too serious. I want it to be fun, but we'll see what happens.
As far as Romero's, like the Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, like I agree. Like I like Night of the Living Dead the best, and then Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead are kind of boring to me. But give me Zack Snyder's.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, his remake of Dawn of the Dead is outstanding.
Give me Army of the Dead.
How's Dawn of the Dead boring?
The original's boring.
Yeah, the original's very slow.
Boring, I think.
Maybe I'm thinking of the second one.
You're thinking of Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, probably.
And Dawn of the Dead, George Romero's is great. The one where they go to the mall. It's still.
Is that the one with the chainsaw, like that big vehicle?
That's the remake.
Yeah, all right.
That's a different animal completely. Like a lot of aspects of Dawn of the Dead from '78 that I really like. I really do. I don't want it to sound like I don't like it.
Same.
Much like you, Greg. I like the film, but it's very slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely talking about the remake now.
Right. So it's like I think if it were a little shorter, it'd be okay, but I just don't think it's paced well. I think it's too slow, and I think they drag it out too much. And that's probably my only criticism to Romero and his series of zombie.
Yeah, Zack Snyder did a fucking excellent job. And again, I thought Army of the Dead was the fucking shit as well, too. That was a really fun movie. And I was kind of expecting, and I know they had the prequel there with the Safecracker guy, but I kind of expected to have another Army of the Dead movie.
All right, so it doesn't have to be Romero's, but in the franchise and done right with a good director.
Yeah, I agree. I think if it's in someone else's hands and they have some fun with it. Zack Snyder's proved that it can be done and be done well. And if they would do it like that, I'd be down. Because I'm always into zombie flicks. It's definitely something I dig. A subgenre I'm kind of into. So yeah, if it's done right, I'll take it all day.
I mean, Zack Snyder or James Gunn should take Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, and remake those.
James Gunn is a great choice for that.
Absolutely.
And introduce those like Zack Snyder did the 2004 version, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Rodriguez should redo it.
Yeah.
That's a good one, yeah. Yeah, he could do it.
Planet Terra. Fucking excellent.
Absolutely.
All right, this is my last one, and then I got a couple listener responses. Event Horizon.
Oh,
never seen it.
1997.
Yeah,
really?
I love that movie.
I've heard the name, but I've never seen it.
I would kind of like to see a remake of that even.
Yeah. Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne. It's about a spaceship that can like fold time, and this spaceship folds time and disappears, and nobody knows where it went, and all of a sudden it just pops back up. So they go and like investigate it, and like the ship went through fucking hell.
It's like Hellraiser, ship of Hellraiser.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome, dude. Sam Neill.
It's Hellraiser in space.
It is. It's fucking, it's a better Hellraiser on space. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. If you haven't seen Event Horizon as a horror fan, sci-fi horror, it's fucking excellent.
I loved it.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Great cast as well, too.
Sam Neill.
Yeah, Sam Neill, yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yep. English-born Sam Neill. I mean, American-born Sam Neill. So, yeah, those are our movies. I got a couple. Brother Rogers, Sean Rogers, said Friday the 13th went on too long. He said Marvel went on too long. Went too long as well. He said Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, stop. We could get another one if it's done right.
He only gave me 2 that weren't long enough, and one of them was The Goonies, and we're about to get a Goonies sequel. And one of them was a series and not a movie, but I allowed it because I loved it, and it was Raised by Wolves, which sadly got canceled. It's a Ridley Scott joint.
That was a wild show.
Yeah. Lionel, participated. Gave me Fast and the Furious. He gave me Rambo and Terminator.
Okay. Yeah. Well, can't fault him there.
Yeah, a series that wasn't long enough, Watchmen, which I
Okay.
agree. And the show was excellent. Chris, a.k.a. Hawk, said Back to the Future. He really hates the Back to the Future franchise.
I love the Back to the Future franchise. 1 and 2 were excellent. Even 3, I enjoyed.
I agree. I like the third one as well, too.
That's a movie where you could keep going with them, if there was a good direction and not, as long as you don't make it stale, that's a franchise that you could sell out. I'm surprised there's only been 3 of them. I'm surprised Disney didn't buy it, or do they own it? I don't know. If they did own it, they would have already remade them.
I think it's a Universal property, I believe.
Yeah. Disney would have been the one to kill that franchise.
Disney kills everything.
Yep.
Anton Kinelov from Instagram said, The Avengers, Harry Potter, and The Dark Knight. And I'm assuming he just means Batman.
There's been a couple bad Batmans, but keep them coming. I love Batman.
I'm with Seamus. Keep them coming. I've never had a Batman flick that I haven't had a good time with. Even the shit ones like Clooney's.
Mr. Freeze.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and I'm always surprised how each installment seems to tell an interesting story with Batman. So I'm with you. Just keep it coming.
I thought the last one was great. The Batman was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely a little long.
Too long.
A little emo.
A little too long.
Penguin, a confident show. That was great.
Oh, the Penguin series is awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Excellent. Yeah, that was like the show of the year. Last but not least, our boy, John from the Dewey Pod Monster podcast. He said too long, all the Marvel stuff. Saw, Star Wars. Not long enough. He's the opposite of Sean. He said Friday the 13th.
Yes, agreed. That's my boy. He and I love Jason, so I agree.
They Live, which I agree with.
I agree.
There definitely could have been another They Live movie. Holy shit. Last but not least, Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, nice.
That's actually a good call.
It's a good call.
This is no joke. Before we started today, I had my list, and I'm like, should I jot Beavis and Butthead down as an honorable mention? I didn't. I wish I would have, because John is right. They should have had a couple more of those.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to shoehorn in Austin Powers then.
Yes.
I love every Austin Powers movie.
Another one I want to throw out real quick as an honorable mention. I don't know why the fuck we didn't get a couple more Blob movies, because I love the 80s remake of The Blob. It was amazing.
The Blob was the shit. Yeah, it's crazy, man, that some of these franchises get the short end of the stick, and then we have movies like Halloween that's like Halloween 20.
Right.
Come on, people, you got to do better than that.
Yes, do better.
Justin, what do you want to tell the listeners about your show?
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone listening to your show should probably know my show by now, but who the fuck knows? I guess they could be listening because of the topic. So, yeah, thanks, guys. I love being here with you guys. You're my favorite show out there. I mean, I love a lot of shows, but you guys are real. You guys are cool. I love doing this. So thank you. As far as my show,
appreciate it.
I love pop culture. You guys do variety too. I focus a lot on movies, music, television, pro wrestling. Try to give it a little bit of a variety there for everybody. But yeah, if you love the 80s, 90s, and even beyond that, I cover a lot of fun topics. So go check me out. I am on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, all those places. You can check me out at Pop Culture Reflections Pod. And obviously the show's anywhere you can find podcasts, and obviously on yourunpodcast.com.
Yeah,
absolutely. Check it out. Justin is always knowledgeable and passionate about his subjects.
Except for the Point Break trivia that I did on the Girl and the Gay movie podcast. Shout out to them, another great show. But they killed me on their movie trivia because they gave me like these little nuggets of details that unless you've seen that movie like every day for the last 20 years, you'd never fucking know. So I shit the bed on that.
I told Jay, I sent him a message, said, dude, if you're going to give Justin a quiz, you better make it hard.
He made it hard.
I probably wouldn't have gotten any of them.
Seamus, what do you say to the people?
I just want to say thank you for your continued listening and support. And don't forget to support and check out all the shows on the You Run Podcast Network.
Yep. Like Seamus said, we rep the You Run Podcast Network, where you can find shows like Pop Culture Reflections, Dewey Pod Monster, all that sweet stuff. And when you listen to the shows, do them a favor and give them a review. 5 stars review always help out the shows, and we'd love one as well, too. That would be awesome. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Pod, YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook. Like I said, we rep the You Run Podcast Network. You find us on yourunpodcast.com. And thanks for listening. And remember, in
Crust, we trust.
Thanks, boys.
Hey, Justin. Good seeing you again.
Stuff,